Spiritual Teaching 292. Love each other. 1. I offer you another page from the Book of Wisdom to share with future generations. Since those generations will be more evolved spiritually, they will be able to better comprehend the essence of my doctrine. Their mission will be to construct an Eden of peace in the heart of humanity. 2. Although I have given great teachings to those present, I have reserved greater revelations for my future disciples because they will be spiritually prepared to receive them. 3. Many times you have asked me what exists beyond your world and if the planets in space are similar to Earth. I have not been able to fully answer your questions because you lack the evolution that is necessary to comprehend my response. You also lack the spirituality that is required to live in harmony with other worlds. Man does not yet know nor fully comprehend the teachings that this world has to offer him. Nevertheless, he wants to know about other planets. People on Earth have not learned to live in harmony with one another as a single family. Yet, man wants to learn about other beings in other planets. For now, it is sufficient for you to remember that in the second era I told you, "In my Father's house are many mansions." Today, I have come to confirm those words. You are not the only inhabitants of the universe, nor is your planet the only one that is inhabited. 4. The future generations will be able to learn more about other planets as the doors to other worlds are opened. Then, they will have a reason to show amazement before the Divine Father. 5. Love and virtue, which results from charity and peace, will be the keys that man will use to open the doors to other planets. Man will then be getting closer to achieving universal harmony. 6. Man will acquire true wisdom and knowledge when he begins to truly practice love and virtue in his spiritual worship, his scientific knowledge, his work, and in his everyday life. 7. Today you are isolated, confined, and restricted because of your selfishness and your preoccupation with material things of this world. You are not seeking spiritual freedom and the elevation of the spirit. 8. Man lacks spiritual enlightenment, is materialistic, and practices human vices. Therefore, what would men do if they were allowed to reach other planets without eliminating these immoral ways? They would sow seeds of disharmony, vanity, and insane ambitions. 9. Truly I tell you that first man will need to purify himself greatly and practice vigilance and prayer before he finds answers to questions concerning life on other planets. 10. Science, alone, will not be able to reveal to man the divine revelations of God. The desire to learn about the revelations of God must be inspired by spiritual love. 11. When men begin to practice spirituality in their lives, they will not need to search for life on other planets, because beings from evolved planets will make contact with the people on Earth. 12. I leave you the following brief message. Be vigilant and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. 13. For now, you will answer your own questions concerning life on other planets. It is necessary for man to become aware of the spiritual gifts that his spirit possesses. He needs to develop those gifts which will enable him to contemplate and comprehend those things that God has reserved for him. I observe that man does not yet truly practice good deeds, nor does he know how to pray and offer true worship to the Divine Father. This is so because man has not allowed his spirit to manifest itself nor to guide him, thus preventing his spirit from evolving. 14. Man possesses true spiritual gifts and powers, yet he weeps like a needy individual because he is not aware of his spiritual gifts. Is he aware of the power of prayer and loving thoughts? Is he aware of the profound revelations that God will reveal to him when he communicates with him from spirit to spirit? No, for man has no knowledge of these things because he is materialistic and lustful. 15. First, man needs to develop his spiritual gifts, thus helping his spirit to evolve. Then, he can aspire to discover those things that exist beyond this world and beyond the human mind. 16. The human mind is small and limited. Why should you entrust to your mind those things that only the Spirit will be able to discover and comprehend? 17. Many of you are ignorant students on this earth. Although you say that you love me, You have not believed what I have told you, nor have you sought me as your teacher. But eventually you will come to know that I am the way, the truth, and the life. 18. Disciples, your life on earth offers you a teaching of infinite wisdom, so your spirit will acquire the knowledge it needs to evolve spiritually. 19. Judge each of your deeds with your conscience, for it will always tell you the truth. Your conscience will let you know if you are spiritually progressing, falling back, or stationary on the path. 20. The one who makes a true effort to judge and know himself will be able to be sincere with himself and others. He will listen to his conscience in all he does, thus taking firm steps on the path of life. 21. When the spirit begins to triumph over the material body, it will experience great joy and become more confident in itself. 22. Although you may believe that you truly comprehend the significance of each one of your deeds, I say to you that only the Divine Father, who is the supreme judge, can truly judge them. 23. Although you might disregard the positive effect of a good deed, do not think that you will never become aware of the good you have done. I say to you that each one of your good deeds will be rewarded. 24. Once you are dwelling in the spiritual kingdom, you will often observe how a good deed that appeared insignificant inspired and influenced others to practice loving deeds for their brethren. It will bring great satisfaction to the one who initiated those deeds. 25. It is necessary for those who sow my teachings from this era in the hearts of their brethren to know this. Many times you will speak to your brethren, not knowing the effect of your words. You will not know if the seed that you sowed produced any fruit, or if it died and failed to multiply. You will know the full effects of your deeds once you reach the end of your path. For now, work hard and practice many good deeds with your brethren. Set an example for your brethren so that the seeds you have sown in the heart of man will flourish into deeds of love. 26. The path that you are following to attain spiritual enlightenment is long. There is no being that has a longer path to follow than the Spirit. The Divine Father purifies, enlightens, and helps your spirit to attain spiritual perfection along that path. 27. I speak to you extensively so that you may have an abundance of my seed to sow as you fulfill your mission. 28. The nation of God will arise once again on earth, but it will not be confined to a race of people. This nation, who will become my new disciples, will not be recognized according to their language, race, or blood, but according to their spirituality. 29. This multitude will not limit itself to teaching my doctrine through books. For my words to have true meaning, one needs to practice them. Thus, this nation of people will not restrict itself to spreading my doctrine through books and writings, but also with deeds and examples. 30. Today, I am helping you to become free of all things that have no value, that are impure and wrong, so that you can lead a life of simplicity and purify. This will allow you to practice deeds that offer a true testimony of my doctrine. 31. When the right time arrives, I will present my nation of people to humanity. The Divine Master will not be ashamed of his disciples, nor will the disciples reject the Divine Master. This will occur at the same time that a great war of ideas is taking place on earth. During those difficult times, spiritualism will emerge to offer enlightenment and peace to humanity. 32. Already divine justice is having an effect on man's earthly powers and on his accumulated material treasures, so that he will come to understand that the strength for my divine word to prevail and be spread to other lands and hearts will not come from these riches and powers. 33. Those material and moral structures that humanity has constructed during this period will disappear. I said in the second era that no stone will remain upon another stone. In order for the new human being to appear on earth, it is necessary first to erase all stains, destroy all sin, and leave only those things that contain good seeds to remain. 34. The splendor of my presence and my justice will be seen throughout the world. In the presence of that divine light, idols will fall, routine traditions will be forgotten, and useless rituals will be abandoned. 35. The spirit of those who previously were unable to perceive me, but who can now perceive me, will start singing a new hymn. Despite their imperfections, they continue to seek me. Those who seek me will always find me. 36. Others who have rejected, avoided, and forgotten me, or who do not believe that I am presently manifesting myself, will experience ordeals along their paths. These ordeals will help them to open their eyes and perceive the truth. 37. It is not important that some love me in ways that are imperfect and others reject me, for I know that all are in need. 38. Everyone needs to prepare their spiritual weapons of love, because the great battle will soon begin. Everyone will take part in that battle, including heads of government, ministers, men of science, the rich and the poor. 39. When the hour of justice arrived, what remained of the Temple of Solomon? Nothing was left, only the knowledge of God's law which was written in the human conscience. Rituals, traditions, sacrifices, and material offerings to God all disappeared. The tabernacle and the altar were destroyed, but the divine law and the words of the prophets remained to prepare humanity for the new era and to cleanse human hearts in order for the new seed to germinate. 40. Jerusalem, which the people of Israel believed was indestructible, was destroyed, as was the Temple of Solomon, which was the pride of the people. The material sanctuary had to be destroyed so a spiritual sanctuary could be constructed in the heart of humanity, since my kingdom is not of this world. Then, truly, I could reign among humanity. 41. You should now realize why my apostles did not construct material temples during the Second Era. Instead, they constructed temples of faith, virtue, and love in the hearts of people. They did this through their spiritual and loving deeds and the truthfulness of their words. They had no need for incense, gold, nor religious rituals. When they placed their hands on those who were ill, they became healed. When they spoke of the doctrine of Christ, they erected sanctuaries within the spirit of those who listened. And when they spoke of the sacrifice that Jesus made to teach man the path of salvation, that teaching remained engraved in those spirits. 42. I say to you once again, my kingdom is not of this world. The temple of the Holy Spirit does not have a material foundation, nor does it have altars on the earth. 43. Material and physical forms of worship will be destroyed during this period. When this occurs, many individuals will experience anguish and ask, why has God permitted this to occur? They will be asking the same question that the Jewish people asked when they saw their city being destroyed. During this period, my people will be the ones who will explain to humanity that a new era has arrived in which a new seed will soon be spread. 44. The fields will be prepared and ready for the seeds that my workers will sow. It is important for you to reflect carefully on the responsibility of those who sow. After humanity frees itself from all fanaticism and material forms of worship, would it be just for this multitude to practice a new idolatry? No, my beloved disciples and new students, it would not be fair. That is why you are learning new lessons and confronting ordeals at each step on your path. 45. Great is your destiny. You have an important responsibility. You must not allow yourself to be troubled by the great misery and suffering that will soon occur on earth. Instead, you need to develop courage and hope, realizing that mankind will need to experience those hardships to awaken spiritually and to become purifying. If that does not occur, humanity will not be able to enter triumphantly into the era of spirituality. 46. Learn to overcome adversities without becoming discouraged and take care of your physical health. Offer encouragement to your brethren by speaking to them of me, teaching them my doctrine that will help them to develop faith and hope. 47. Behold that many of your brethren feel downhearted as they journey through life. They have allowed themselves to be defeated in their battle. They have aged prematurely, reflecting sadness and dejection in their faces. If those who should be the strong ones begin to weaken, then the young will weaken also, and the little children will see only misery surrounding them. 48. My people, you should not deprive yourselves of enjoying those things that are wholesome and bring you happiness, although they are only short-lived. If you allow yourself to eat your humble bread in peace, truly I tell you that you will find it sweeter and more nourishing. 49. Be aware that I want you to have confidence, faith, optimism, serenity, and strength in all your struggles and in the work that you need to do. Do not carry any bitterness in your heart. What comfort and words of wisdom would you be able to offer those who need help if you carry dissatisfaction and grief within your heart? 50. It is in your ordeals where you specifically will need to offer strong evidence of your faith, humility, and spiritual elevation. 51. The one who practices spirituality during his life will always feel a profound peace and will be able to sleep in tranquility. During those moments of sleep, the spirit will separate from its material body to penetrate into the spiritual valley to receive divine inspirations that will nourish both the spirit and the material body. 52. No one should say that I have come to bring sadness into his life because, in reality, my divine word has come to save you from spiritual darkness. Be aware that I have come to prepare you so that you will be strong in your struggles. 53. Do not lose confidence, nor be afraid, knowing that the battle is approaching. Do not doubt that peace will return to your world. 54. I have said to you that life on Earth is now entering a new and different phase. Although Earth will continue being the same planet in terms of its physical nature, humanity will experience a change in the way it lives. Justice and truth will govern man's way of living. Thus, humanity will have different goals, ideals, and struggles. 55. The majority of spiritual beings who will incarnate and dwell on Earth during that period will be virtuous and follow a righteous path. Although there still will be some who will continue their evil ways on Earth, they will eventually yield to the divine truth that their brethren now practice. That is not what is now occurring on Earth. Today, there are many individuals who are bad influence and harm others. With their negative strength, they are able to contaminate, influence, and convert those beings who are virtuous. 56. For the present, Earth will continue to be a place of purification for the spirit, where it can experience struggles and have the opportunity to amend its mistakes and wrongdoing. Spirits who now depart from Earth still lack the spiritual elevation that is necessary to dwell in other mansions where highly evolved spiritual beings live. Presently, Earth is not ready to become a home for the highly elevated spiritual beings which eventually will come to dwell on Earth in the future. Since the spirit is slow to evolve, it has the opportunity to reincarnate on Earth many times to settle past debts and to complete its unfinished work. 57. In the future, those who are dwelling on Earth will be able to offer me the spiritual flowers of their good deeds. They will also bring before my presence the ripe fruits they have gathered after having dedicated their lives to loving the Divine Father and their brethren. 58. Do you not realize that it will be your children who will dwell on Earth tomorrow? And do you not desire for your children something better than that which you have obtained? Your heart full of love and charity responds, Yes, Father. Thus, you must cleanse and prepare the path for them, for I want them to find in the footprints of your journey the humble heritage that you have left them. Those generations will cherish greatly your gift. 63. Only the Lamb is able to penetrate into the profound mysteries of God to reveal that wisdom to his children. 64. When you, my disciples from the third era, have the complete knowledge of what you have received, you will quickly arise to spread this new message, which belongs to all humanity. 65. Behold how amidst all of the materialism that exists on Earth, there are some who have not forgotten that I promised to return. Those individuals study the words of the prophets and carefully analyze the events that are occurring on Earth. They await my arrival and want to know if I have already arrived or if I have already come and departed. 66. I say to those of you who have witnessed and have felt great joy with this manifestation, practice charity with mankind. They are your brothers. 67. Prepare yourselves to take the good news to your brethren. Although many of them will accept it with great joy, some will not. They will inform you that they have all that they need with the revelations of God from the first era and those from the second era. It is then that I will inspire you to tell those unbelievers that it is necessary to know the new revelations in order to truly comprehend the past teachings of God. 68. What must you do so that your brethren will listen to the good news that you bring them without ridiculing you and harshly judging you? Prepare yourself as a true apostle and messenger of this divine message, offering it to your brethren with the same purity with which I have offered it to you. 69. Although this multitude will not be the savior of all the nations on earth, you will work together with the divine master. He is the true savior of this world and all worlds throughout the universe, including you and all the spirits. 70. I want to rejoice with those things that I have created and to be loved and understood by all those beings who are a part of my spirit. I want everyone to come before me so that from my kingdom I may reveal to them the magnificence of my divine work. As they observe my divine work, I want them to experience true joy knowing that they have journeyed through the path that leads to the Divine Father. 71. The end of my manifestation through the human spokesman does not mean that my work has come to an end. My work is eternal. The end of this manifestation only signals the beginning of your struggle. 72. Although I will no longer manifest myself through the spokesman to give you my teachings, I will inspire and spiritually enlighten them to analyze these teachings and explain them to the multitudes. 73. The reason I have given you these teachings through the human spokesman is to teach you how to communicate with me from spirit to spirit. My peace be with you.